Today on the channel from Jack's Class Superstars Series 21, we've got Chris Jericho and we've got Jesse the Body Ventura.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Jack's Class Superstars unboxing and review. And today on the channel from Jack's Class Superstars Series 21, we've got Chris Jericho and Jesse the Body Ventura. But remember, for all your modern day wrestling figure needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle to save yourself 10%. And of course, we're going to do this like we do all the reviews on the channel, kinda. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to unbox them because I already have both of these guys, but we'll talk about these guys out of the package, of course. Without further ado, I guess let's start new to old. I don't know. We're going to start with Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho, much like Jeff Hardy in this line, at the time didn't feel so classic, but boy, does this ever feel classic now. This is like 10 incarnations of Chris Jericho ago. To me, this really does feel like WCW Chris Jericho as well. But this just feels like a lifetime ago Chris Jericho was in this persona. And hot take here probably, my favorite version of Chris Jericho, and I was following him back from a Smoky Mountain ECW time frame, my favorite incarnation is his time with Ralphus and WCW. His WCW run was amazing. Absolutely loved it. That was my favorite years of Chris Jericho. He's had a lot of good stuff, obviously. The best stuff of his career, most people would say, after that. But that always holds a really good place in my heart. Oh, my heart, deep down in there. But I always enjoy Chris Jericho throughout. I've followed him for a long time. I followed Fozzy since album #1. I saw Fozzy back when they were just a little cover band back in the day. So Chris Jericho's really been around almost my whole wrestling life, really. Just missing maybe 5 years of that. And he still is going strong, as we know, with AEW today. But an interesting one, and like I said, didn't feel classic at the time, feels classic now, but I have the loose one of this, and this is part of my WCW Jack's shelf, is what I have this one as. But he's looking good with that high ponytail there. Always love that look on him. Looking really good, but I guess you could say this is early WWE as well, but I just pretend it's WCW. Chris Jericho on the side. Of course, you do get the glamour shots on the back. You do get the cross-sell, UPCs, the warnings. You get the tail of the tape, and you get the blur back here. Let's see what it says about our old buddy Chris Jericho. Weight, 230 pounds. Height, 6 feet tall. Finishing move, the Code Breaker, the Walls of Jericho, and the Lion Salt. Absolutely love the Walls of Jericho. When he first did that one, that was just really cool. I love how he got so high on that, like Boston Crab, basically, but getting so high on the neck on guys. Absolutely loved it. Titles: Undisputed WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion, World Tag Team Champion, European Champion, Hardcore Champion, AEW Heavyweight Champion. How did they predict the future? Maybe not. Maybe not. But a lot of title wins and a lot more since this. Of course, this was 2008. Yep, 2008 on the package for this Jericho. An interesting one. He does, of course, come with a cookie sheet. Oh, he loved good bake of cake and cookie. Of course, it does come with a patented cookie sheet, and Chris Jericho loved baking cookies backstage for all the guys. Little known fact, somebody can fact check this one. Ralphus was actually a really skinny guy. He was a really skinny gentleman, but he loved Chris Jericho's cookies. In about a matter of 6 months, he grew to what he grew in, lost his teeth from all the sugar. Just crazy. And you all blame this cookie sheet. Or maybe not. But we are going to break down the figure for Chris Jericho. Like I said, I love this Chris Jericho figure. He's got the high ponytail going on. Good smile on his face. It just really reminds me of the earlier, I guess everything's earlier Chris Jericho, but earlier Chris Jericho. He does got a Fist of Fury, which I'm always happy to see on there as well. But a little bit plain Jane. You got the black tights here. Does say Lion down here. Of course, Lionheart, which is funny. He's kind of back to that as we're filming this right now. He just wrestled Bryan Danielson on the AEW pay-per-view and as the Lionheart Chris Jericho. So very interesting with that. Articulation, arms go all the way around, of course, bicep cut, single jointed elbows, wrists side to side, back and forth, waist articulation, head articulation, legs go up and back, single jointed knees, ankles up and down, and that's it. She's off to the races there. Interesting here with the little like snake skull skeleton going on. I don't remember him ever wearing this outfit. I wonder if this is one of those things where Jax just said, yeah, it looks good, throw it on Jericho. or if this is actual gear he wrestled in. Some of you Jericho experts may know that one, but this is a very, very good figure. I do have this one displayed with a microphone. It just feels like he always needed a microphone at this time. I think I would have rather a microphone accessory than the cookie sheet after all with this, but a very, very good Jericho. One that didn't feel so great, much like the Jeff Hardy in the same wave at the time. But all these years later, I absolutely do love this Chris Jericho, and it is a favorite Chris Jericho in my collection. Now we turn our attention to one of the all-time greats, one of my absolute favorites, Jesse the Body Ventura. I love Jesse the Body Ventura. His wrestling career a little bit before my time, but I was in the glory days of his announcing times in the WWF, into WCW, and then, of course, me being in the Midwest, of course, knowing all about him running for mayor and governor and all that, so seeing him in the news all the time was always really cool, and then just seeing him evolve into like a politician, kind of a communicator type guy, and his conspiracy theory shows. I loved those shows, so I really do like Jesse the Body Ventura. He is one of my favorites, and I think it's one of those guys that if you think about it, Mattel could do so much with the Jesse Ventura. If they could somehow get his license, we could do Build-A-Figures, you could do announcers, you could do a wrestler version, you could do the referee version from SummerSlam all those years ago. There's so many Jesse Ventura figures that Mattel could do. Hopefully one day they can get the license, but we'll see. But we have been lacking in Jesse Ventura figures for a long time. Luckily, the Classic Superstars line did get us two different versions of Jesse. The wrestler version here, and then, of course, we did get the announcer version of Jesse. But let's take a look at this one. Absolutely love this one, of course. Looking really, really good. Got kind of the floral pants tights going on, which always looks great. Just really cool. He's got sunglasses and a microphone that fits for Jesse. There he is on the side. You got that black bandana there, which is interesting because we got a colorful one on the actual figure. So one of those times where, hey, I want the actual figure more than the prototype. So that's really cool. And then you got Jesse Ventura on the side. Of course, AWA wrestling legend Jesse Ventura. You got the tail of the tape, you got the blurb, you got the glamour shot, you got the cross sell, you got the UPCs, you got the warnings. You got it all. It's all right there for us. Let's see what it says about old Jesse Ventura here. Weight 240 pounds, 6'2", finishing move, the old backbreaker. Titles AWA Tag Team Champion. So not a ton of stuff with old Jesse Ventura. But an interesting one. And of course we have him right here. We do have the accessories. Now the black microphone we've seen before. We've seen it numerous times. So we do have that. And then you do have the sunglasses. These sunglasses are the exact same sunglasses we got with Taz. So they got them with Jesse Ventura in the same set. I guess Jesse wore sunglasses, so it does work. I guess we'll count it. We'll count it. And then we do get the accessory of the bandana. A lot of people don't know this bandana comes off. I think it's a surprise to a lot of people that leave them in the package. But you can remove the bandana. It is a little bit more of a tie-dye design than the black one we saw in the packaging, so I do like that point of difference. Old Jesse and his crazy bald spot, a lot like Hulk Hogan. We know him and Hulk Hogan, they're back and forth over the years. Hulk Hogan ripped off a lot of stuff from Superstar Billy Graham, and I do believe Jesse the Body Ventura as well. But Jesse, one of the all-time great announcers, quick wit, just always added so much to the conversation. Absolutely loved him back in the day. Like I said, I still love him now. This Jesse looks really good. I'm going to know all day long. Somebody hands me this head that this is an early Jesse Ventura. Maybe not everybody, but I definitely could pick up the Jesse Ventura here, especially with the blonde hair. Looks really good. I do think he could have been maybe a little bit more muscular, but I think this gets the job done as far as body style. And then I really love the kind of crazy floral pink pants here that Jesse the Body would wear. It just definitely does fit him. And then the bright red shiny boots. Just an all-around good Jesse Ventura figure you can't go wrong with. And then, of course, a microphone accessory for him makes all the sense in the world. Just really, really cool. I would love to see the Hollywood Mattel line continue. Get us Jesse Ventura from the Predator. Get me that. There's so many Jesse Venturas I want. It would make my head spin if I really sat and thought and wrote it down, I think. But I'll take what I could get. This is really all we could get. It's crazy how few figures Jesse Ventura's had. He had the two Classic Superstars, of course the LJN back in the day, and I believe that is it. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's all we've seen from Jesse Ventura. And that just really is a shame. Of course, a Hall of Famer, a politician. He's done a lot in his life. He has definitely lived an interesting life for sure. Navy SEAL, of course, in the Predator movie, like we said. A lot to like about Jesse Ventura if you're a guy like me. And hopefully one of these days Mattel comes through, but I just really wouldn't be shocked if somehow he doesn't end up in the Power Town lineup. We'll see what happens. Of course, his AWA roots, Greg Gagne pulling some strings. We could see him in Power Town before Mattel. But we'll see what happens. We'll play a little of that long game as we always do. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? What do you think about these figures? What's your favorite incarnation of Chris Jericho? That's a good question. And what are your thoughts about Jesse the Body Ventura? Leave those in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. As you guys know, every single Tuesday for well over 2 years, really 3 years at this point, we have Classic Superstars content. We'll keep on going for as long as we can. So make sure you subscribe, hit the old notification bell. Don't forget about the Patreon where you get access to this video early and all the other videos early. Bonus content, exclusive content, monthly giveaways, and best of all, you do support the channel over on the Patreon. You can also support the channel, ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget to follow along over on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram. So Jesse the Body Ventura and Chris Jericho, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.